and there's Doc's garage that Marty busts out of it in the beginning. There's his mansion that was burned down, as we could tell from the newspaper clipping that we saw in the beginning. Alright, now this is the version of Doc that we're going to be familiar of most of the movie. Is actually his younger self. And it's actually his older self that we see throughout the rest of the trilogy. So it's kind of... we become accustomed to his 55 self, but we hang out with his elder one for the rest of the trilogy. I just repeated myself. But that mitoring helmet could not be designed better. That was an excellent design. There is no explanation, no setup, if you will, for that helmet, and how Doc built it, and where he got those metal pieces and whatnot. And also, we just saw a little puppy hooked up to the machine. That's Copernicus. The one in 85 is Einstein. So it's obviously Doc likes that type of dog as his lab. This is a lab monkey, if you will. Lab rat, whatever you want. Something to experiment on without hurting it. Also, I should point out that originally, instead of a dog, Doc had a monkey named Shemp. And Lou Schneider, I think that was his name, the head of... well, I just named the creator of He-Man, but the head of MCA, which owned Universal, which was making this movie, had some beefs with the script. Everyone else thought it was fine once Romancing the Stone came out. But he had some beefs with... one was... we'll start off small. When Lorraine changed... or first off, Lorraine's name was Peggy Sue. It's a tradition to name the women in 50s time travel, or 50s sci-fi, or women in time travel. I'm not sure exactly, but something along those lines. Name them Peggy Sue. Peggy Sue got married. But you name them Peggy Sue. She wanted, or the head of MCA wanted that changed to Lorraine, the same name as his wife. He wanted Einstein changed from, or Shemp changed from a monkey to a dog. The reasoning being, movies with monkeys didn't make money. When Zemeckis and Gale pointed out, what about the Clint Eastwood movie, Any Which Way You Can, Any Which Way But Loose? He said that was an orangutan. That wasn't a monkey. So they changed that. He wanted to change the title, which no one thought of, from Back to the Future to Space Zombies from Pluto, based on the comic book. And instead of Marty saying, I'm Darth Vader, I'm a space zombie from Pluto. And kind of have that be a running joke all the way into the title. Okay, here's the payoff to the suitcase. This is what Doc was looking at right before he walks up there. So he opens up Doc's suitcase, pulls out a hairdryer and starts clicking it, thinking it's like a futuristic gun. When Marty tells him it's a hairdryer, Doc's like, don't they have towels? Why would someone need a gun to dry their hair? Don't they have towels? You would have thought underpants were made out of paper. So the last thing he pulls out is a Playboy. Decides the future's looking a lot better. Then Marty gets the tape going, and that was the end of the scene. And here's a big famous catchphrase for the movie coming up. You can see the suitcase right there. Puts his hand out. These not presidents, scientists all have a hand in helping Doc come up with the idea of the clock tower, lightning bolt at the clock tower. I'm trying to think. Isaac Newton's up there. He has something to do with. I know Ben Franklin's up there, and obviously him and the kite with electricity. There's Newton, Franklin, Einstein. Forget who the. Oh, and I know it. Anyway, I can't think of how, but it. It's a good thing Marty got that thing from the lady in the beginning. Oh, also, in the original script, Zemeckis and Gale had plenty of time to rewrite because they came up with the idea like around 82, and originally Marty was an only child. They added the brother and sister because they wanted Marty to go back to 55. Even back when it took place in 1982, the date that they written it, they gave them older brother and sister, so that the ages would match up and the timing and whatnot. I'm bumping into so many stories back to back that also, if you think about it, his older brother and sister make it more dramatic because of this whole erase from existence countdown. There's Rydell High School, that is now Hill Valley High School. Oh, here's another deleted scene that was cut out. After this, they go in and they're looking for Lorraine, and Marty spots her in a classroom and she's cheating. Marty is like amazed because, Doc shrugs it off like, yeah, so what, people cheat, and Marty's like, it's my mother. And then afterward, Lorraine's on her way to the locker, goes to her friend and says, I got enough anyway. And Doc's looking at her, walks away, and walks up to Marty, which was at the beginning of this scene. It's amazing that oh, okay, here's the other thing I wanted to point out is Doc's scar above his eye. Doc said he got it when he slipped off hanging a clock and hit his head on a toilet. Originally, Doc was a playboy and a bit of a womanizer. And Marty comes knocking on the door. Doc doesn't have any time for a teenager right now because he's having a big party. She slams the door on him and goes to hit on a woman. She hits him with a bottle, I think, and that's how they got the idea for the flux capacitor.